Hi, I'm Adam from F1, and today we're going to be taking a look at SafeWeb products and actually when you receive those emails, what does it mean and what we're looking out for. So firstly, you'll receive an email through to your inbox from SafeWeb on a monthly basis, and that will have a report attached. When the report's open, it will look something like this. So the first page will give you a headline overview of the type of exposure that you may have received. And as we scroll through this, we can see there's been one incidence of an email address exposure, 2 incidences of password exposure, 4 incidences of personal record exposure, and luckily no incidences in this case of credit card exposure. As we browse through the report, we can see that this report in itself was only linked to my email address. What we'd normally have with SafeWeb is it looking at the domain. So basically anything after the @ symbol, so any previous members of staff that work for the business that are no longer there, but also any current and new members of staff that get added, it will be constantly monitoring that domain and any email addresses linked to it. You can then see on here that we've had 4 breaches pertaining to the email address and the sources of those data breaches and when the most recent one was. If additional addresses are to be found, they will also find their way onto this list. If we then scroll down, it will then break down that particular user. So in this instance, my email address and the various breaches that we've had on here. So we've got 3 breaches, but the idea is that you can click into the breach information. It will tell you about that company, when the breach happened, and give you their official report into when the breach happened and what data was taken. You can see a synopsis at the top here of any of the information. So this particular one, we've got date of birth taken, email address, gender, name, phone number, and physical address. So there's a lot of data taken on that instance. Once we've looked at the overview of where the breaches have happened and taken in a summary of what information was taken, we can then see that we've got a take action button next to each of those examples. So I'm going to click the take action button next to coin tracker. On here, I know that my email address was taken. So as I scroll down, we're now in the support hub for SafeWeb. And in here, it's going to give those summary headings that we've seen on the previous page on the report. So for email, for example, I know that was one of the areas of concern. We can see on here that SafeWeb then gives you some useful information of what happens if my email address is on the dark web, what should I look out for, what action can be taken, and how can I prevent email breaches in future. You'll see that across this, we've got the same and similar information for passwords, credit cards, personal records, and social media. The plan with SafeWeb, or the idea of SafeWeb, is that unfortunately, you're not in control of your data being stolen. In many ways, as much as it can happen through email phishing, so you get a spam email come through to your account that you click on, fill out a form, and or kind of leave yourself susceptible to a virus attack which takes the information. Those bits are in your control, but also a lot of the time it's when big corporations have a data breach, details where you've left your email address information, credit card details with them, and unfortunately they have a data breach and it finds itself onto the dark web. So the idea with SafeWeb that it is constantly monitoring the dark web. So you will receive a monthly report, firstly, of any breaches that have happened, give you a synopsis of each of those breaches and the action points of what you need to do. But also you'll get a live trigger as well. So if company ABC has a data breach today, it finds the information onto the dark web tomorrow, you'll have an instant message come through to your email to say, there's been a breach, here's the breach details, here's what data was taken, here's what to do to sort it out. So the idea is, in this world where we can't necessarily prevent the information from being on the dark web, at least we can give you the tools to make sure that you're safe moving forward. If you need more help with SafeWeb or haven't answered all the questions that you may have, please give our support team a call and we'll gladly answer your questions.